So taking this 180 degrees and going the opposite direction of what most OTs and PTs would want to do, but absolutely could be doing. And I don't know why I feel like New York City is like a prime breeding ground for something like this.
What do you got? What do
Gabe,
you got?
have you ever heard of attorneys sending the ADA demand letters to local businesses who are not ADA compliant?
I have not heard that, but yeah, I could see that in New York City. Absolutely.
Okay, so here's the deal. So
I see where you're going with this.
an OTPT would go in, you'd go into the bodega, you'd go into the sandwich shop, you'd go into whatever, you'd go into the bathroom, you'd look under the sink, non-ADA compliant.
Oof.
You go tell your partner attorney, send this guy a letter. The attorney sends the letter saying our client was in your establishment. It's not ADA compliant. We expect whatever restitution, blah, blah, blah.
Oof.
They're getting thousands to hundreds of thousands in quote restitution on some of these cases. And it's legitimate. I mean, it's not really a scam because these businesses are so busy. They're mom and pop businesses. It's a horrible thing to do, but they're not ADA compliant and they're not abiding by the law. So we were in a situation like this, and that's the only reason why I know it, where something like this happened in one of my mom's nightclubs decades ago. We got a demand letter for $100,000+. We negotiated it down to 10,000 just to not go through the litigation. Wow. But imagine that for nothing other than walking into this business and realizing that something in the bathroom wasn't ADA compliant, an attorney and a person got $10,000 out of my mom's business. That's it.
Wow.
And we still had to pay the cost to bring everything up to compliance.
Yeah. There's putting your skills. I mean, you want to talk about the Peace Corps, Gene? Okay. Why don't you go out there and fight for people?
The opposite side.
Yeah. It's like, okay, great. You're the private investigator, but instead of investigating people who are cheating the system or cheating on their spouse, you're going out and you're doing proper evaluations for ADA compliance. Do you need a certification to do that? No. Do you need to know the regulations? Sure. Could you teach yourself that in a day? Absolutely. Could you do it in 4 hours with AI? Most likely. And I mean, so essentially you'd freelance for attorneys and say, here's a thing that should be happening. I can write on a piece of paper my certifications. This is where you get to flex and tell people, I'm certified. According to a doctor of physical therapy, it was analyzed and measured, and these were the photos. Yeah, I mean, that's a model.
Now, I think you could do it in a more ethical, feel good, sleep good at night way, in the sense that you could be the therapist going in, doing these assessments, then sending a letter to the business owner and saying, hey, I just want you to know this is what I do. This is my specialty. Yep. I was in your establishment. This is what's going on. These are the deficits. Absolutely. If an attorney has somebody come in and experience this, you're going to be on the hook for tens of or hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you want my full report and my recommendation, it's only $1,000.
Right.
And you can bring your business up to compliance.
Man, Tony is like, listen,
gangster today.
I'm not saying someone's going to drop a dime in 29 and a half days, but what I'm saying is someone's going to drop a dime in 29 and a half days.
There's no coming to my clinic. That's the only thing.
Right. Wow. Yeah, because what you could do is, listen, an attorney will be notified in 30 to 60 days unless you change it. By the way, here are the names of 3 different contractors who do this. And you can stay.
That's where you can get paid too. You can get paid for those referrals to the contractors.
Yeah, my strong safety, my backup is the attorney, but my linebacker is. Do you want to get in? Do you want to get in compliance? Get on this guy's waiting list, and he can turn your bathroom into from non-ADA compliant to compliant.
But in the real world, a lot of these business owners already have probably a contractor or a buddy who's a contractor, whatever. So you give them the 3 referrals. Maybe you get paid for those contractor referrals, but they're not going to necessarily always pick those 3 referrals.
Right. But what Tony's saying there is, hey, I did my assessment. To unlock the assessment, you pay me. Because you could send the contractor in there, and the contractor's like, what do you want? And he's like, the guy said we were out of code. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the code is. Great. To unlock it's why when you buy a house, you pay for what? An inspection. I want to know. Give me the dirty little secrets. But what he's doing here is he's moving the inspection. They don't know. They're not selling their house. but people are using the bathroom or trying to get into a facility, and he's moving you're selling inspections to people who didn't know they needed one.
Man, the lawyer approach is the one that's gonna it's gonna cause the most amount of movement.
The Peace Corps gene therapists, I just heard several heads explode. And I agree. Even I was like, ooh, man, that's cold, bro.